What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's me, AJ from BLWA Diecast, and today we're here with three cars that represent speed through the ages. So let's get into it. Alright, guys, so like I said in the intro, we have three cars representing different eras of speed today. They're all from about 15 to 20 years apart from each other, so it'll be really cool to see about 40 years of evolution when it comes to muscle and speed and sportiness. So it'll be a really cool look today. I wasn't sure which one to start with, if we should start with the oldest or the newest. So I figured we'd flip a piece of Belgian chocolate to the side, heads, and we will open the newest car first. Tails will open the oldest. It has landed on tails, so we're going to open the oldest first. So let's get into it. All right, so our first car is here to represent the American muscle car era. It is the 1967 Plymouth GTX, and this is a Johnny Lightning Muscle Cars USA release. It is a release 2 version B. It is number 3 in the release 2, and this is, I think, I remember when this one came out, I saw a black one at Target, didn't buy it because I wanted the better color. The second color came out, and I actually liked it less, so it took me far longer than I wanted to be able to find a black one again, but I eventually did, and has the red stripes, of course, so it'll be very cool to look at. We'll do a quick look at the back. Some of the other cars in the series, we have one of them here. If you can guess which one it is, I will give you a cookie. And here are the facts on the side. It doesn't say what engine this comes with, but I'm guessing it's probably the 440, just because it's not called a Hemi GTX. So we're going to go ahead and assume that this is a regular 440 block in this. But let's go ahead and crack it open. This one is just in black, I believe it's called. Yeah, nothing, no cool name there. That was Dodge's thing. Let's see. I don't know why it's giving so much trouble. There we go. I'm just going to open it really weird today, I suppose. All right. This is a nice looking muscle car. It is a boxy muscle car, and I really like that. It's very cool. Not quite Coke bottle styling. This is, well, 67. I feel like maybe some others had Coke bottle styling, but not Plymouth, not on this car, not yet. Was the GTX like any other model? Was that just a GTX, or was it like a Belvedere GTX or something? I'm not quite sure. Pretty sure it was his own model, but I could be wrong. License plate says 67 GTX, I believe. It is metal body on metal chassis, which is very nice. Very good details on, well, the whole thing really. It's everything's detailed. Got the red walls. It's very cool. Very good front end. Plymouth written out on the front and back. Red interior. Love those like hubcaps, like they just kind of like steel look. And again, like I said, very boxy. But we'll go ahead and open up the engine bay now, and that is a very nice engine bay. I wonder if they borrowed this casting from Autoworld, because this is a very, very high quality casting and a very cool muscle car. Honestly, if they re-released this, I would, in a, like a cooler color that's not, well, this actually looks pretty good, but that's not, I don't remember what the other release was. But if they're just in a new color that I liked, I'd probably pick it up, because this is just such a good, cool looking car representing the American muscle era, going fast in a straight line. That's what it was all about. So a very nice Plymouth GTX here. Love it. Great car. We're going to move on to the next one. And of course, I forgot to give the specs on this, so I'll go ahead and do that really quickly. This had a, like I said, if it was a 440, it would have had a 7.2 liter V8 or a full 440 cubic inch V8. That made about 480 pound-feet of torque and 325 horsepower. It came with a 4-speed manual transmission or a 3-speed automatic. Back in 67, MSRP would have been about $3,300, equivalent to $31,000 today, almost $32,000. So very cool. Next contender in the ring, representing the Japanese sports car era, we have the 1981 Mazda RX-7. This is a pretty cool casting. I didn't ever think I would really buy one. Kind of avoided them. But this one was on sale, so I went ahead and picked it up. It was about half the normal price. And I was like, for half the price, I do think it is a cool enough car to pay, $4 instead of $8. So I went ahead and picked it up. It is a Johnny Lightning Classic Gold. It is release 4, version A. Number 2 in the series. It is in brilliant black. Here is the facts. Of course, toting that this is a rotary engine. We have even a little diagram of that. You can see it pretty good here. Here's the back. I don't think I have this Cougar in the collection. I'm not sure exactly if it's the same model, but I do have a 1970 Cougar, a Johnny Lightning, and the 89 Lotus Esprit, and the 2012 Corvette. So I'm pretty much almost completing the collection right here. I have a 62 Bel Air. Not sure if it's the same one. It could be. So I might actually have almost this whole release. But this is, of course, Japanese sports cars, all about, low power, high fun. They had good handling, not too much horsepower, but they were fun to go and whip around. Or so I hear. This vehicle would have had about 100 horsepower. In the U.S. market, I think other markets it had a little bit more than that. 105 foot-pound of torque. It had a 1.1 liter rotary engine. I believe it was just one rotor. You could get a 5-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic, and it cost $8,000 back in 1981 or $28,000 back in today, which is probably would make it the cheapest sports car if it was released at the same price, like a modern equivalent. So we'll go ahead and unbox this Mazda. There's a lot of diecast cars that are kind of like this for me. It's like I'm never gonna buy them, but if somebody were to give them to me or I get a really good discount on them, I would. I bought some other cars on the same shopping trip that were really cheap that I wouldn't have bought otherwise, just because I'm not a big fan of the car in real life, but I like it enough to buy it in diecast for a good price. So this was one of those. Of course, we got that iconic wedge-shaped design. I'm not a big Mazda guy in general or Japanese car guy. If you know me, I'm not that big into Japanese cars, but I like this little it's a little fun-sized sports car, cheap, rotary on the license plate. Really cool taillight design. I've actually quite taken a liking to this kind of an era of the Nissan Z, the 300ZX. I do have one of those for a future video, so keep that in mind and come back for more once that video releases. Rolls really good. This one rolls pretty decent as well. I mean, it's good. It's not the best. This rolls really good. Extremely small and thin tires on it, which is, I'm sure, realistic. Pop-up headlights on the front. Again, I love this wedge-shaped design. It almost reminds me of kind of Ferraris from the era in a way, in the way the front is designed. I wonder if that was intentional or I don't know. We'll go ahead and look at the engine. I believe this opens up backwards. There we go. Get it. There we go. Nice. So that's your rotary engine. Honestly, it doesn't look all that different than a normal engine from this angle, and it's a diecast car, so it's not going to be be the best representation. But it looks very good opening part. I love opening hoods. I will not buy a expensive car without an opening hood for the most part, unless it's a casting I really care about. Looks very good, and that is our entry for the Japanese sports car era. So now we'll move on to the last car. And last, we have our contestant for the more modern day sports car segment, the 2001 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. This is a cool car. Of course, I don't have any of the 5th generation Corvette examples of any of the castings yet. So what I'm trying to say, this is my first 5th gen Corvette. So it'll be very cool. I knew I had to get it once I saw it because like I said, I have almost every generation of Corvette. That's a lie. Okay, so now I have a C. Now I'm just missing a C2 and a C4 once I open this. So it'll be very cool to have every generation of Corvette once I get those other two. Here is the facts on the side. This is release 2, the first car in the series, version B. This is with the Plymouth. They were in the same series together. This Z06 would have had 385 horsepower with 385 pound-feet of torque. It had a 5.7 liter V8. I believe it's an LS6, I believe. And this you could either get a 6-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. This would have started at $51,895 and been about, in modern money, that is $95,000, give or take. So very interesting. This is in custom Nassau blue poly, which is a factory color. I don't know if I showed the back already, but I'll show it again just in case. We'll go ahead and rip this one right open. There you go. Oh. All right. That is a good Corvette casting, but when is it not a good Corvette casting? This one is definitely cheaper. It seems like some parts are indeed plastic. Like this is metal frame, mostly a metal body, but it feels like maybe the roof. Yeah, the roof and this little trunk definitely have a different texture. I don't know why. It's possible that this casting also came as a convertible, and that's probably why. Because you can kind of tell it's a little bit of a different color too. Maybe not on camera, but it's if you really study it, you can kind of tell that maybe this is, or you can tell that this is a plastic top. A very nice wheel choice too, like those wheels. This little tampo on the side isn't super great. It's all right. Z06 on the back, ZOHSIX. That's pretty fun. course, the iconic rear end. We got pop-up headlights and the iconic front end. Who doesn't love a fifth generation Corvette? Rolls very good, of course, as Johnny Lightnings typically do. This is definitely the best riding car out of today's selection, and a very cool addition to the Corvette family. Very nice color, very good casting. I wish it had an opening feature. It doesn't, but it was half off, so I did go ahead and pick it up. So a very nice find today, guys. All three of these representing speed throughout a 40-year time gap. We have the American straight line muscle cars. We have the light, fun, low-power Japanese sports cars. And then you have the big block American sports cars, kind of retro design cars of the early 2000s. Because I believe the Z06 was a C2 Corvette too, and they brought it back for this generation. So very fun, very cool to look at all the different kinds of fast cars throughout the 60s through the 80s through the 2000s. So very fun. Thank y'all, and join me in the next one. Which car is your favorite? Leave a comment. Love reading comments. Leave a like. Helps out a lot. And I'll see y'all in the next one.